Real Estate Tips Tuesday, and this week's tips, we're going to talk about taxes. I've touched on taxes a little bit, but here's a little bit more information if you're wondering about Colorado taxes. So here's a fun fact that most people probably don't know unless you're moving from a higher tax state to Colorado. Colorado is the third lowest in property taxes. We come in at 0.51%, where the national average is just a little bit over 1%. So if you're coming from places like Chicago, Illinois, that has a very high tax, property tax rate, then you're probably loving Colorado's tax rates. But you perhaps aren't loving the high prices of homes. So there is kind of a trade-off. We do have higher priced homes here, but lower taxes. But don't be fooled by this, because not all areas in Colorado have low taxes. So here is an example. I'm just going to throw it out there for some easy math. We're going to take Arvada, Colorado, because that's where I am, and Jefferson County, because that's where I live. So I know some of the stats here a little bit better than most. So here in Arvada, the average home price is about $505,000. And our mill levy is 91.2120. That's a big number and it's hard to remember, but you really don't have to, because the county does it for you. You just need to know this stuff for, of course, paying your taxes on a yearly basis. So, in Colorado, we do what is called an assessed value. So we assess residential properties at 7.15% of the actual value of the home. So if you're looking at the average home price in Arvada, Colorado, which is $505,000, and you times it by the assessed value percentage rate, which is 7.15, you're going to get the assessed value of, on average, $36,100. So that's what you get taxed on. So if you live in Jefferson County, the mill levy, as I said, was 91.2120. You're going to take your assessed value, which is the $32,100, and times that times the mill levy. So if you do that, so it's going to be times 0.0912120, long number, but that's going to give you your annual tax rate, which the average would be about $3,293. That's what you would pay annually in your taxes. So if you have an average priced home in Jefferson County, that is going to be the price that you would pay annually for your home. Here's the catch. If you live in a metro district, which we have many of them here in Colorado, you're going to be paying double your taxes. So the $3,200 that you would normally or average people in Arvada pay, you're going to pay about $6,586 in your annual taxes. Why, you might ask? Well, metro districts are a special tax district, and they're all over Colorado. There's not just here in Jefferson County, but basically any new developments in Colorado are gonna fall under these metro districts, because basically what's happened is the cities and counties don't have enough funding to help with development, or perhaps they would rather use their funding differently. So they're letting the home builders take over the infrastructure part of a development, where they're putting in sewer lines and streets and sidewalks and stuff like that. So they're putting in the infrastructure into these developments. Then when they're done, because this isn't what they normally do and it's expensive, they turn around and tax the homeowners. So those taxes are usually set by the home builders. I have done a video on Metro tax districts. You can check that out here. You can also do a lot of other research, but just know that on average, you're going to be paying double, if not more, taxes if you live in these areas. So even though Colorado has some of the lowest property taxes in the country, it is very high in metro districts. Taxes are definitely something that you should pay attention to, especially if you're an investor or if you're moving to a place where you believe your taxes won't change drastically. Because metro districts, they can change their taxes no matter what. They don't need voter approval. So there are some things you need to think about when moving there. Because most people, when buying or purchasing a home, are always worried about interest rates. And sometimes just 0.25% can, push people out of the market to buy a home. But people don't think about just 0.25% of a tax increase could also do the same thing. If you have any questions about this topic or any real estate related questions, please contact me through my social pages. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so that you can get these great tips into your email box every week. And until next week, have a wonderful rest of your week.